Hello everyone, Marky Joe 1990 here with...
Mike.
And let's talk about Ragefest 4. So firstly, I am not going to be playing through the rest of Pwnage Kirby's submission, F-Star EXE. And the reason why is because it's just too much of a time commitment. The submission is sort of designed in such a way, like, even after all the edits that brought back the conveniences, such as making units move faster and stuff, it's still extremely slow to play, because, well, like, every single scenario is sort of, like, over-calculated. Like, you need to do a very specific set of actions in this one spot, and you're never too sure that you're making the right string of decisions, and sometimes you have to do that.
And not to mention there's RNG involved.
Yeah, there is RNG involved. Pwnage Kirby does say it's not luck-based, but when she mentioned it, it wasn't all that convincing. Like, she said all hit rates, if using the ideal strategy, are above 80%, which means that, for all we know, we could be dealing with, like, 1081% at a time. So,
And during my experiences trying to play through it myself, I ended up with several 90% misses, and it basically ruined my entire run.
yeah,
One
like,
bad RNG, and you're just screwed.
yeah, well, I mean, as she said, if you're not playing exactly the intended solution, which there's not only one solution, but that's her excuse. Like, if you're not doing the exact strategy she was using, then you're doing it wrong, and thus any RNG that you deal with is totally valid, which I'm not sold on that argument, but at the same time, I don't want to play the submission further because it's not fun to play and it's not fun to watch, and it takes too much time to make progress.
And the entire time that he was recording it, it was mostly just negative bashing of the whole thing, and I can't see anybody really enjoying going back and watching the videos, so...
Yeah, like, I was straight up insufferable. Like, if you guys have not seen me at my worst, this was at my worst. I was just, like, there's Marky Joe who bitches, and he's animated and interesting to listen to, and then there's the apathetic, unenthusiastic bitching, where I'm sort of just, like, resigned to the quality of the submission. Like, it was clearly designed not to be fun. So I can't even, like, get mad at it, because usually what makes me mad is stupidity. And this is not a stupid submission. This is a submission that deliberately is just unenjoyable to play. So I can't get excited about it, I can't just be like, what were you thinking?
So with all that said, me and Hey It's Kyo are probably going to do a co-commentary together with me playing this, as backwards as it is for me to play the game where I'm the antagonist. And I think I'll send the footage to Mark and he'll upload it on his channel.
Yeah, so Hey It's Kyo is going to have a special guest appearance on my channel. Get hype, ladies and gentlemen. Though, we should express our concerns, like, he is a contestant. He might shit-talk the submission and be biased.
Isn't it disqualified?
Oh yeah, it is already disqualified. But as I said, I have to use the ideal strat and then prove that, like, under the very most generous version of the rules I have, it might not be disqualification worthy. But as it stands, like, you have to be a fucking mind reader to do everything the way Char intended you to.
That'd be Mewtwo King.
Yeah, you have to be the robot, literally. Anyway, enough Super Smash Bros. Melee references. So that's the deal with that submission. With that said, I consider Ragefest 4 done. Mari's gonna do the recording. I might upload it on my channel, or preferably, I think that you guys, since you're recording this submission, you should have it on your own channel, so that you guys get the ad revenue and stuff.
I don't have anything on my channel to promote.
Well, alright. Speaking of promotion, let's talk about Mari's submission.
Oh, yes. Some of you might have seen it on Serenades, but I have my own project that I've been working on long before Ragefest 4 started. It was originally intended to be entered into Ragefest 4, but I long overshot the deadline, and I just don't function well under deadlines. But either way, it's quite a very big thing, and I've been putting a lot of effort into it. And it's very likely that when I get around to finishing it, Mark will make it into its own series. Not Ragefest Gaiden, but straight up its own series like with the FE Hack reviews. Because it's long. It's a 5-parter.
Okay. Well, what if you entered into Ragefest 5? Because that's another thing we need to get into. Ragefest 5 is going to have severely different rules than the previous Ragefests.
That really depends on a number of things. But honestly, I don't feel like it's fair for me to enter it into Ragefest 5.
Oh yeah, you did have like a year or more.
Yeah, I've
of
had
an
over
advantage.
a year to work on this.
Yeah, and plus you have access to
FEXNA.
a certain engine. Yeah, that's another thing is that I should not have said FEXNA is allowed in Ragefest 4 mainly because like very few people have it, and that doesn't seem fair. Now that said, you know, what's done is done. What else was I gonna say? Ragefest 5 is doing a thing.
Did you mention the voting?
Yeah, oh, right, the voting. Okay, so voting for Ragefest 4 is gonna work like this, alright? I'm gonna wait a week after this video, and then after that, once everybody has had enough time for, like, the recency bias to fall over, I will have a vote. Now, what you guys can do is if you are hazy on submissions, like you don't remember how a specific one goes, I encourage you to rewatch the videos and sort of like give yourself like a what's the word, a
Refresher?
a refresher. Yes. See, this is why I brought you here, Mari. Yeah, just like a nice crash course on the Ragefest submissions, because you know maybe you missed one, or maybe you forgot how awesome one is, which you know is probably not what's going to happen. But regardless, I do encourage it.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't know when Ragefest 5 is going to happen. I need a fucking break because I've been doing Ragefest 4 for like almost, I think it's been a year?
It's been a while. It's not been a year yet.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, and I want to fucking get back to Fire Emblem 3! God damn, Fire Emblem 3 has been just waiting in like, the corner of my room, head held down in shame, like, you done playing with Big Brother Ragefest, Mark?
Oh, poor Mark.
And then I'm just kind of like, I know. And then FE3 is like, I made you this wonderful drawing with all of my love, and I'm like, alright, put it on the fridge. Yeah.
But now you'll finally get time to spend with your neglected child.
Yes, finally, this deadbeat father is gonna prove his worth. But yeah, like, after FE3, I am going to, like, I don't know when I'm going to do Fire Emblem Fates, but I definitely want to do it. Specifically, Nor, I'm not too interested in Hoshido or Revelations, because they get really fucking boring in the late game, and they're not as, like, thought-provoking in strategy. And Nor, honestly, there's a lot more to talk about with Nor than any of the other ones, because it's got the most experimental level design, and it also has the most different story, and also the worst story.
Yeah, you get plenty of time to rage about how horrible the narrative is.
Yeah, like, when the story is good, like, I'm not good at, like, talking about what it does right, because it just is, like...
As Midnight Sun has demonstrated.
Yeah, like, I don't complain about it, because I'm too immersed to, like, talk about it, and I'm like, it's good.
You're just, like, gushing about how awesome it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, it's just... You know.
Yeah, I was sucking Alfred's dick quite hard during that run. Yeah, and if you remember during my stream for Fire Emblem 9 Path of Radiance, I was bitching so much about the gameplay and how slow and how stupid some of the designs are. But whenever it was like cutscenes, I was just like all relaxed and stuff. Because it's like, oh yeah, you know what? This is this feels like a world I could live in. But yeah, like, I think that's it. So we talked about Ragefest 5, we talked about Ragefest 4 is done, and that we're going to have you do the submission. We talked about your submission, which is going to be its own thing.
Get hype.
Yeah, get hype. I highly recommend you guys look over on our thread, and if you want to help, Mario, are you looking for help?
I am currently in need of a musician. Somebody who can do music. I can't ask Mark because it's the game for him.
Yeah, like, that's the sad part, is that she knows good submissions, but she can't access them.
Ugh.
So yeah, like, somebody needs to make some, like, Latino jazz avant-garde music for her, and she'll be like, what's this?
Oh, stop it! Stop it, you! Stop it!
Oh, yes, I love it.
Ugh.
Anyway, yeah. I hate when I feel like I've run out of things to say, but that I have, like, that one more thing to say. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to end the video. I think we've said enough.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.